Subhash Surendranath ji, who will be giving a case study of the FGD installation in NTPC Dadri. So welcome, Mr. Subhash. So hand it over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tyagi sir. Thank you, Shreyal ji. I hope my presentation is available, visible to you.
It is visible, yes, sir. You could go on the slideshow mode. Yes, perfect.
Okay. So I'll talk about flue gas desulfurization installation at NTPC Dadri. Sir, NTPC Limited is one of the largest power utility in the country with an installed capacity of more than 72,000, and it plans to become a 130 gigawatt company by the year 2032. It was established in 1975 and it aims to be the world's largest and best power major. As on date, the installed capacity of NTPC Group is 72,304 megawatt, including the JVs and subsidiaries. We have 63 numbers of NTPC stations, 26 coal-based, 7 gas-based, 1 hydro station, 1 small hydro, 27 solar and 1 wind-based station, and we have 26 joint venture stations, wherein 9 coal-based, 8 hydro, 1 small hydro, 2 wind and 2 solar PV. Sir, NTPC Dadri is having a thermal station of 1820 megawatt, which has stage 1 of 840 megawatt. This is the old station, which was commissioned in 1993. We have stage 2, where we have 2 units of 490 megawatt, total capacity of 980 megawatt. This was commissioned in the year 2010. We have 1 gas plant having 4 gas turbines with a total capacity of 829 megawatt. We also have solar PV of 5 megawatt. So Dadri is a unique station having thermal, gas and solar PV in one premises. Total ash generation is 24 lakh metric ton. Fly ash is 19.2 lakh metric ton and bottom ash is about 4.8 lakh metric ton. So let's talk about the flue gas sulfurization. Sir, combustion of fuel having sulfur results in sulfur dioxide emission. Coal with 0.5% sulfur generates SOx in the range of 1500 to 2000 milligram per normal meter cube. 95 to 96% of the sulfur is converted into SO2. Though Indian coals have very low sulfur content, only in the range of 0.25 to 0.5, while the imported coal has more sulfur content, leading to more SOx generation. SO2 emission results in acid rain, corrosion of buildings and structures, and it also affects the human health. In 2015, MOEF issued new environment norms and added 3 more emission norms in December 2015. India made commitments in COP21 in December 2015, wherein we said we will achieve 40% cumulative installed capacity from non-fossil fuels, introducing new, more efficient, cleaner technologies in power generation. So new stack emission norms, sir, for those stations which are installed prior to 31/12/2003, NTPC stage 1 units are coming in this category. The particulate matter, the limit is 100 milligram per normal meter cube. SOx is 600 milligram per normal meter cube. NOx is 600 milligram per normal meter cube. While for TPPs installed after 2003, our stage 2 is in this category, where PM is 50 milligram per normal meter cube, SOx is 200 milligram per normal meter cube, and NOx is 300 milligram per normal meter cube. For stage 1, we have installed DSI system, that is disorbent injection, and we have installed FGD for stage 2. For NOx control, we have gone for combustion modification in stage 2, wherein we have installed the SOFA system in unit 5 and 6 in March 2019. Dadri is the first plant of NTPC to implement DSI and FGD in a retrofit plant. So these are the chemical reaction. Oxides of sulfur react with limestone, which is calcium carbonate, which results in the formation of gypsum and release of carbon dioxide. Limestone, which is coming, the consumption rate is approximately 288 metric ton per day on a full load basis, whereas gypsum production rate is approximately 528 metric ton per day. So almost 1 ton of limestone produces something like 1.6 times of gypsum. This is the FGD schematic. The crushed limestone is mixed with water in a wet ball mill, and it makes limestone slurry. This slurry, by use of a limestone slurry pump, is taken to the absorber and reaction chamber, wherein the flue gases and the limestone slurry pass through the absorber area, wherein the gases are from the bottom and the slurry falls from the top, and the heat exchange, the chemical reaction takes place, and the limestone converts to gypsum. This gypsum is bled and the water is removed from the gypsum, and ultimately dry gypsum is falling in the gypsum storage shed, where it is disposed of to the various gypsum buyers. Sir, this is the absorber tank details, wherein we can see the flue gas is flowing from the bottom to the top of the absorber. The slurry is falling from the top and the chemical reaction takes place. We have recirculation pumps for recirculation of the slurry. We have a mist elimination zone, and ultimately, with more and more of gypsum formation, the density of the slurry increases, and then thereafter the gypsum is bled. This is an aerial view of the FGD. Earlier, we were having a high chimney. Now, with reduced emissions, the height of the chimney, new chimney, has reduced. Though this is also a multi-flue chimney, but the height has now reduced. This is the actual site photograph. Sulfur compounds are removed from the exhaust emissions of fossil fuel power stations in the absorber. Chemical reaction is limestone plus flue gas plus water gives us gypsum, calcium sulfate plus CO2 plus water. So the end product is gypsum, which is again sold off. This is showing the wet limestone gypsum process. The dirty flue gas is scrubbed in the FGD. SO2 removal efficiency is almost 90 to 99%, and clean gas is emitted through the stack. The byproduct gypsum is having a purity of almost 90 to 98%. This can be used for making of gypsum boards and for the cement industry. Sulfur dioxide and limestone get converted to gypsum. This is the chemical reaction. Down below, again, we have shown the detailed chemical reactions which are occurring, and the limestone ultimately converts to gypsum in a series of 3 reactions. I would like to share the parameters. These are the SOx parameters. The top parameters show the SOx before the FGD was installed, and the parameters down below show us the SOx conditions after installation of FGD. So what I said was, after installation of FGD, we are almost scrubbing the gas. So the gas has become very clean, and we see the SOx parameters have dropped down to 150, 200, 75, 80 to this level. Limestone consumption is about 8.79 metric ton per hour. For 2 units, the consumption will be 1,54,000 metric ton per year. Cost of limestone consumption will be about 46 crores per year, while the production of gypsum is about 14.5 metric ton. So for 2 units, since we have 2 500 megawatt units, we'll be installing this FGD for both. For one, it's already in service. For the other one, it's likely to be in service in the next 1.5 months. Expected revenue for selling of gypsum is approximately 31 crore per year. SOx in the flue gas will be 3.2 tons per hour. SO2 in the clean flue gas is less than 200 milligram per normal meter cube. Design efficiency is almost 95%. Impact of installing a FGD on the energy charge rate on Dadri is due to 1% increase in APC as per CA recommendation, since some more drives are added on account of the FGD system. It is about 3.8 paisa per unit. Limestone consumption is 2.66 paisa. An increase in fixed charges due to increase in fixed cost on account of FGD is about 16 paisa per unit. So total the financial implication of increase of ECR is something like 23 paisa per unit. So due to limestone consumption, the increase in ECR will be 2.66 paisa. Effect on the fixed charge, as we have already discussed, is on account of fixed charges 15 paisa. Due to add cap, it was 108 paisa. Due to FGD 15.90, total effect on tariff will be 22.37 paisa per kilowatt hour. These are the technical details of the FGD installed at NTPC Dadri. The flue gas is drawn from the boiler into the FGD ductwork and forced into the absorber tower by booster fans. In the absorber, warm exhaust gases from the coal-fired boiler come into contact with limestone slurry, which is sprayed through nozzles using slurry recirculation pumps. When the warm gas comes into contact with the limestone slurry, chemical reaction occurs between the sulfur dioxide in the gas and the limestone. This reaction removes the SO2 from the flue gases and converts the limestone into calcium sulfite. The calcium sulfite further falls to the base of the absorber where compressed air is injected. The compressed air further oxidizes the calcium sulfide, converts it to calcium sulfate, which is commonly known as gypsum. This way, this reaction removes the sulfur dioxide from the flue gases. MHPS Japan is the technology collaborator of BHEL for the FGD system. This FGD at Dadri is installed by BHEL. This is basically the mechanism. This is suitable for large scale flue gas treatment. These are the reactions that take place. We have absorption, neutralization, oxidation, crystallization, and again crystallization. We have given out 2 contracts for sale of gypsum. The first contract was for 20,000 metric ton, out of which we were able to sell 16,937 metric ton of gypsum. Thereafter, we gave a contract for 80,000 metric ton. We have 7 agencies which are lifting gypsum from NTPC Dadri, and till date, we have been able to sell 4,972 metric ton out of this 80,000, and the total quantity lifted for the last year is 15,015 metric ton. So whatever gypsum we generated, we have been able to sell off. Thank you, sir. Now, if anybody has any questions, I am open to questions.
Thank you very much for excellent presentation. So you had a very crisp and to the point presentation in allotted time. So if any question from the audience is there, they may ask the question.
There are 2 questions in the Q&A box.
Yeah, I can read them. What is the height of FGD chimney and SO2 emission at present? This is first question. And second question is final flue gas flow and temperature. Yes,
Sir,
Subhash.
final flue gas flow remains the same because there has been no change in the flow. The sulfur dioxide content has reduced. As I already shared the parameters, it is something to the tune of 150 to 200 milligrams. So earlier, which was in the range of 1300 to 1600, has now dropped to about 150 to 200 only. The height of the chimney is 150 meters. It has been dropped down. Earlier, the chimney was 235 meters. Now it has come to 150 meters only. I hope the answers given are to the satisfaction of the persons who have raised the question.
Yes, I think so. Manoj Kumar Pandaji has asked these questions. So I hope he must be satisfied. Any effect of the NOx emission on SO2 removal efficiency?
Sir, as I already shared, the NOx is also within the limits. We have installed SOFA, separate overfire air dampers, in our stage 2 units for compliance of the NOx standards.
Okay. So, any more questions?
No, sir, no
Otherwise,
more questions.
We should thank Mr. Subhash for very wonderful presentation. Thank you, and my best wishes to your plant at Dadri. You are always progressive and doing very well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just checking if there is any questions that I have missed out on. I think Mr. Aneja had a question. Mr. Aneja, do you want to unmute and ask, please?
Yes. Mr. Kacker.
Yes, sir. Please carry on.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, initial time taken for when the plant is started initially. So it takes too much time. So what is the cause of that?
Sir, the plant has different types of startup. One is the cold startup, then we have the warm startup, and we have a hot startup. So the cold startup takes time. The warm and the cold and the hot startup take lesser time.
So I'm talking about
what sort of
I'm
startup
talking about FGD. For FGD time, the initial time taken for the first delivery of gypsum is very, very high.
Sir, that is because as the reaction progresses, the slurry gradually increases the density. That is why it takes time. And once the slurry reaches the desired density, then only the gypsum is delivered, and thereafter it's a continuous process.
And
so that is why it takes time. For the first delivery to come, it takes time.
Okay. Secondly, what are the parameters monitored before the water is declared as wastewater, when the water is sent to wastewater system? So what are those parameters which are taken care of?
Sir, I'll revert back to you regarding this question later.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have your number. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kacker. Thank you, Mr. Chakraborty, and thank you so much, Mr. Tyagi, for moderating this session for us. And